Hello everybody, my name is Necroxis, long time no see, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all that jazz. Today, it is the 8.3 patch, the Ny'alotha patch, and we have a cinematic. From what I can tell, this one is about Anduin and Wrathion, meeting together in Stormwind, so I'm sure there will be big gay energy happening here, because before I've even seen it, the thumbnail is Anduin's face and Wrathion's face looking right at each other, so I don't know, but yeah. So from what I have understood, this is the one of the very first or one of the very first things you see when you start up the new patch. I haven't done this in the game yet because I like to see the cinematic, before. But from what I've seen other people say to me, this happens right away. So, without further ado, let's begin and see our ship continue to sail, everyone. I know those of you who hate Wrathion and Anduin's ship just love it when I keep talking about it. But if Blizzard's going to keep pushing it while insisting that they're not, I don't know. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, now.
You mean to tell me none of your spies have returned? Ny'alotha's out there, and we need answers now!
We are doing all we can. Speaker
Hey, Bane and Mela!
Along with a new
Alright.
advisor. He claims to have information for us.
By the light, a new advisor.
New advisor.
Wrathion.
Anduin, it's been so long.
Dragons.
I suppose I
Wow.
deserved that.
Oh, you deserve more than that. My father is dead because of you!
And my father is dead because of the old gods.
Lad. He's come to help us.
Wrathion's like, oh shit. Anduin came with that big top energy I wasn't expecting.
Once the protector of Azeroth, but N'Zoth turned a noble mind to madness, and now my father is only remembered as Deathwing. And as I haven't the least desire to share that fate, I've been studying how to avoid it.
Just tell me how to prepare for this attack. Our armies
Will be useless. N'Zoth will strike here. He'll manipulate emotions, get people to act in ways contrary to their nature. You won't be able to trust your senses, your memories, your friends. After all,
Void Anduin?
what is real if our perceptions cannot be trusted? Anduin! Anduin! Don't you see, old friend? It's already begun.
very well, advisor. Tell us how to stop him.
Look. Some people may say that those of us on the Anduin ship are just looking for things that we want to see to reaffirm what we've already decided is true. But come on! Come on, everybody. You cannot tell me that Blizzard is not at least playing with the fucking perception that the two of them are... There's something going on there between Wrathion and Anduin. Don't sit there and tell me that you can't see that, because that's a load of bullshit. Yeah, not really a lot happened there. I'm glad that they finally had somebody talk about how Wrathion basically was the cause of the Burning Legion's invasion. That's not really... I mean, at least it's something, but it's not really good enough. But we're past that because Legion's over. But it's not really good enough that they kind of just ruined Wrathion's entire character motivation by having him cause the next invasion and then just be absent for it. Through his actions with warlords, then leading into Legion. All is basically Wrathion's fault. Those of you who haven't put the pieces together, I'm sure you could look up 1,000 videos talking about it, but Wrathion freeing Garrosh to go back to Draenor directly caused Gul'dan's rise to power, which then causes him to summon Archimonde, then get escaped or sent to Azeroth after the end of Warlords of Draenor, directly causing Legion. So, in what I really liked at the time as kind of an ironic twist on his entire agenda, Wrathion's entire plan was trying to build an army to fight against the Legion that he felt was returning to Azeroth to kill everyone, and in the process he ended up summoning or being directly responsible for Gul'dan being able to summon the Legion to Azeroth. And they kind of just cut all that out because the story devs now are just interested in like rule of cool shit and not actually telling a cohesive story with the characters that have been built up in the past. But at least someone finally recognizes it. Also, Anduin punched him hard enough to leave like a bloody mark in his face, so he's pretty pissed. So I'm glad they at least had somebody reference that fact, even if it was Anduin. But yeah, so I like the idea. They've kind of always, they haven't done it a lot, but in the background with certain Anduin things, they've teased this idea of like a void corrupted Anduin, or Anduin delving into void abilities. For example, in Mists of Pandaria, he uses mind control on these Alliance characters who have come to take him and retrieve him and bring him back to Stormwind. And he's basically like, nah, I'm not ready to leave yet. And he mind controls one of the characters, I think it's the dwarf, and basically escapes. So I like the idea that they are teasing this concept of Void Anduin. That's never going to happen, I don't think, but at least it's more realistic than just having him be 100% pure Anduin who can do no wrong, even though I disagree with that assertion by certain people in the fan community, all of whom happen to always also seem to be Sylvanas' fanboys. That I don't know why that always seems to be the case, but 100% of the time I've ever seen that, they are also Sylvanas fanboys. But I will admit that Anduin is much, much more often than not presented as like the morally righteous and good, if not also naive sometimes. So I like the idea that they could tease a voidish Anduin, and it'd be interesting to see him have to tap into the void to use like the full arsenal of his priest abilities, because priests use void magic. They're not like void elves or void casters, but they use light and they use void, and it would be interesting to see Anduin use void at least a little bit, because he never has. Mind control, I guess, is the most extreme void that he's ever used, and even then I don't even know if you would consider that void magic. I guess technically it is, but it would be interesting to see if he makes it, or if he is in Shadowlands, if he's one of the characters that gets stuck in the Maw. It would be cool to see him use void magic as well as light magic. I would like to see that. Wrathion continues to be his smarmy, awesome self. I love that he's a douchebag. Like I love that he's an arrogant asshole. That's good to me. He continues to be so. I also like that they're continuing with this idea that they've dropped completely in Legion because they're stupid, but that was part of his entire backstory the entire time, going back from, and even in Cataclysm, when he's doing the Rogue Legendary quest chain, a core part of Wrathion's character is, I'm a Black Dragon who's not corrupted. I want to redeem the idea of the Black Dragon fight. And every single thing he's tried to do since then has been in pursuit of that agenda in his mind. Even when he accidentally causes the summoning of the Legion, he was doing it because he wanted to ultimately protect Azeroth, and thought that if he had a united army to stand against the Legion when he returned, that would better protect the planet. So everything he's tried to do has been in service of protecting the planet, because he feels, as a Black Dragon, that it is part of his responsibility, because the charge of the Titans to the dragons was, hey, protect Azeroth. So I like that they're also sticking with that, and I like that he's rightfully upset that his father, Deathwing, got butt-fucked more than probably anybody else, any other dragon or any other person in existence, by the old gods. And I like that he's upset by that, because he always kind of I guess not mockingly, but I guess even in Cataclysm, he was outraged at the fact that the dragons that he sends you to kill, which are black dragons, are corrupted. So I like the idea that he's angry about it, because he should be. He shouldn't, like, flippantly be making fun of it. So, that was cool. Mela and Bane are there. They do nothing. They stand in the background. So, that's going to be more fodder to the man-children who keep insisting that Bane is somehow an Alliance character or is subservient to Anduin, because everybody knows that unless the Horde are bloodthirsty, genocidal maniacs, then that means they are soy boys ruined because of Christy Golden. Which is, that might sound like an exaggeration. That is literally something I was reading today on a certain website. And actually, it was on the official forums and another certain website. I saw people saying this, and they've been saying it for a long time. That because, essentially, without getting too, I guess it is kind of connected to political stuff, but in my opinion, the people who always talk about the Horde being weak or hating Bane or hating Anduin, they always do it, ultimately what it boils down to is them being upset that Christy Golden at one point on Twitter said something about healthy masculinity, even though she was just responding to somebody else who said it to her first, and B, because they view the Horde as not wanting to be genocidal monsters as inherently bad. And that goes back, in my opinion, to this juvenile, almost not even high school, like junior high level 12-year-olds imagination version of what it means to be a man. Like, to these people, being a man means I have to be punching people and hurting people and stealing stuff and taking what I want. And that's what it means to be a man. And any other evidence to the contrary to challenge that idea, they see as weak or frail or gay or, and when I say gay, I mean actually gay, or some, and they connect gay with bad, but some other bad version of masculinity. Anything that's not what they think is good masculinity is bad. And that's what all this stupid, dumbass, Bane's weak and Bane's an Alliance bootlicker and Anduin's a pussy and all that. That's what all that boils down to at the end of the day. Look at any single person's complaint about that topic. It boils down to that. So, I don't even remember why I got onto that point. I just wanted to tell those people to fuck off because they act like juvenile children and they need to grow up. But, yeah, this was cool. I'm wondering if there's another cinematic. I'm not sure. But there might be one after we kill N'Zoth. I know there's an in-game cutscene, but there might be actually a cinematic. Because the in-game cutscene when you kill N'Zoth is it kind of ends just jarringly and it's just over. Like, it's like a hard cut, and then it's like things are happening, and then it's over, hard cut. And it seems like there should be more, and that's where I assume that there's going to be a cutscene. So if there is, we'll react to that. But it might not be available till next week when the raid comes out. But until then, I like the cinematic. Not much happened, but it's always good to see two characters interact that I like. Because Wrathion and Anduin are both on my top 5 characters list, favorite of all times. Gul'dan's gone. Ajara is still around, but kind of got ruined by Battle for Azeroth. I really hate everything about her in this expansion, except for her Warbringers animation. And then we have Lor'themar, Wrathion, and Anduin. All of those characters, except for Gul'dan, are involved in this expansion. So, I like Wrathion and Anduin. Blizzard's clearly pushing, even subtly, this weird connection between them. And I don't think people are just looking for things that they want to see. I think they are definitely teasing this ship. I don't think it'll probably ever happen, because I think Blizzard is like Disney in the fact that they love their fake wokeness. And just like Disney talks about how Beauty and the Beast live action is the first gay Disney character, and it's LeFou dancing with a guy for 0.5 seconds at the end of the movie. Or, The Last Jedi has the first Disney gay kiss, and it's 2 women in the background for a split second that they cut out of foreign markets. That's how I view Blizzard's take on the whole "we're so woke, guys, give us praise for the gayness." So I don't think Anduin and Wrathion will ever be, together. But I think they'll just keep doing more hints like this. So yeah, there we go. That's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay awesome. And yeah, farewell.